What if your business could think? I mean, really think like a strategist, researcher, growth hacker, all rolled into one. This is what we're doing with Deep Research, the open source brainchild built for AI adventurers, builders, and business owners who are done with surface level answers. This isn't a chatbot wrapper or simple code dump. Deep Research is your intelligent research companion. It's capable of scouring resources, cross referencing data, and surfacing insights that make strategy feel like instinct. Whether you're a founder bootstrapping a vision or a dev looking to stretch what I can really do, I think this project is going to be for you. And here's the kicker, it's open source, meaning you can fork it, shape it, plug it into your stack, or just let it run wild in a sandbox of your own. So if you're ready to go beyond buzzwords and build with AI, stand by, strap in, and let's get started. Oh, and don't forget all the things, right? Subscribe, like, and all that. Now let's get going.
Okay, but first, shout out David. Champ, totally did this thing up. It's amazing. Kudos to you. All right, so let's get the repo. So the URL is right here. I'll zoom that in for you. Of course, we can make this available for you guys as well in the links below. Just simply click copy, and let's get rid of that now. Going to go in here, and we're going to do whatever CD into your where you want this on your environment here, and let's just do click git clone, and yeah, your HTTPS location there. Fire that off, and that's gonna bring in the code base into your project, right? So now let's bring that up for everybody here. All right, so here is the code base. Oh my goodness, Brian, sorry, dude. Better picture now. All right, that's my editor. He's always like, Marcus, you got to make it bigger. So I'm making it bigger. All right, so you can see I've got this project set up here. And again, shout out to David. He really made it quite straightforward in terms of what to do. So you just click on this README. And then we're going to do, I'm on a Mac, so I'm just going to do Shift Command V and get into kind of the preview mode so that we can, let's just get rid of this, so that we can see this a little bit better. It's, on a Windows environment, I think it's Shift Control V. And now it looks all pretty and stuff, right? And that's great. So it explains the project to you here. And these are super helpful. I love having this kind of diagram, get a sense of what's going on under the hood. It means open source, right? So why not? And this is, I was surprised, this is a Node environment. So typically any kind of AI stuff is done in Python, but here you go. We're running in Node. So you are going to need Node on your system. And then you're just going to go into your terminal here. Let's just clear this up for everybody. And we're just going to do npm install, right? Pretty straightforward. And then you want to get your environments. It comes with this env.example. So you just do copy.env.example. I think I got it in here when I was setting her up. Copy.env.example.env, and it'll push this in. And then you just need, this just these three. So you're going to need a firecrawl key. This is the service he's using to do some web scraping. So we'll show you that in a minute here. You want to grab your OpenAI key, and we just don't muck with this. And then while you're here, why not do this one as well? Once you got those in, do copy.env in a dot, should be a .env.local, and that will create this. If you want to run it in Docker, you're going to need that. All right. All right. So now we're set up with that. You're going to get your firecrawl key. You're going to put in your OpenAI key, and he talks about running this through Docker. We can certainly get that set up. I ran into a few errors. So just to kind of keep it simple, let's just go in here, and it's, when you're running the install, it looks like it's been a little bit since this service has been updated. So I went ahead and ran it in an update. So I'll push this up to the repo, and so it'll be currently all updated, ready to go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do npm start, right? We're just going to hit that, and boom, you're right in. It's good to go. So we're going to put a pause in there. let's go take a look quickly at Firecrawl. Get you an API there. One more thing. What are we going to research? Let's keep that off and take a look at what that's going to look like, and then we'll go get the wireless track. Because it takes a little while. Well, we could just use what I was looking at before, right? Let's just use that because it's a little bit more involved, but I'll just do a simpler version. We're going to do tell me about the major LLM providers, their current models, and characteristics. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of qualifiers around characteristics here, right? This is an important question, right? So we've got a lot of models out there, and they're constantly, oh, we're this on this benchmark and this on this, whatever, right? I'm a practical guy. I just want to run my business. I don't care what that metric is. It means nothing to me. And it's actually not that useful to me. What's useful to me is that OpenAI tends to be a much more human in the loop kind of specialist, right? So it wants a lot of your feedback, which is great if you don't want to let the process just kind of run wild. But it's totally horrible if you're like, no, just get it done. It constantly saying, oh, well, what do you want to do about this? What do you want to do? Whereas Claude is much more likely to just go wild, right? But sometimes you're like, whoa, slow down. So knowing the different characteristics of the models is huge. It's actually more important than benchmarks, really. So let's go ahead and fire this off. All right. So now it's going to ask me a question here. It's saying, oh, there we go. Now we're getting bigger. Let's take a look at how the breadth, right? So this is how wide do we want it to go? It's giving you a nice kind of default there. Let's just use the default. And how deep do we want to go? And this is kind of how many loops it goes through, and how it seems to me like how much time it kind of takes to kind of churn on this. Let's give it a little bit more than kind of average. Now, it's going to say, do we want to churn or create a report or specific answer? So I understand, I haven't tried specific answer, but I'm guessing that that's going to be a tighter report or tighter response. Whereas with a report, you're going to get a report. So let's go for report. And now I love this bit here. What it's doing here is it's coming up with a plan. It's not just going great. It's considering how to approach that, and it's coming back with some questions here, right? So camera's blocking what's going on here. Let me get it up so I can see it. There we go. Can you clarify which LLM providers do you consider major? Well, yeah, all those. Let's all those plus maybe let's add Grok in here. Google, Anthropic, OpenAI, Grok. Let's just go with that. And you mentioned users, reports of key characteristics. Do you intend to focus on qualitative experience? Yes. All right. So now it started doing the research. Great. Let's go leave it to this, and let's go take a look at Firecrawl while soon. Let's go. Firecrawl.dat. All right. So when you go in here, you're going to want to go to sign in. I'm already signed in. So there is limitations to the free version. And I think one of the things I'm going to try to do is maybe port this to Dockling or Crawl for AI or some other kind of open source web scraper. But this just proof of concept. This works, right? So you notice here, I'm kind of reaching my limits, and I'm going to get timed out. But this is the way David wrote it, so we're going to use this. I'm going to try to modify it maybe down the road. So one of the things with deep research, you got to understand, it takes time. So you can see here, it's still kind of chugging along. But I wanted to go over a little bit of what you're seeing here right now, right? So when you do this with one of the big providers like OpenAI, you don't get to see this kind of the thinking behind it. And this is super helpful. We're going to try to debug this. Like I was thinking, how would coming from the medical background that I grew out of, right? Like some of my medical colleagues are still wanting to do key research, but they don't want the internet. They want to use proper document stores where primary research has been cataloged and conducted. Well, there's no reason we couldn't use that tool on this and gain access. And so this kind of feedback lets me or lets you assess how's it doing with that data, where's it getting the data from, and how's it coming to the conclusion it's coming to. So like it's open. So what that means is you should be able to see what's going on, right? So a little bit of a knock to David that he used Firecrawl, which is not open source. It at least doesn't. It's seen somewhere you could stand up your own environment, so maybe there's an open source version of it. But we want to make sure we're getting you guys something that's really open, so you can see the full stack, right? And if you want to modify it or adjust it, you can get in there. If you don't, you just want to kind of use it. Great. Good. All right. So we're going to let this thing cook here a little bit longer. Oh, it looks like it's done a whole bunch of those things. I'll come back when it's done. So this is pretty cool. So, honestly, it maybe took 2 minutes, maybe. So let's go back and take a look at what it's done. All right. So, I'm still kind of getting a sense of what's going on here. So this is kind of cool, right? So it's going to give us the learning, some of the things that it came up with in its search. All right, like that. So we want to kind of go deeper, evaluate the conclusions it came to. It looks like we can do that, right? We've got its thinking here, right? I love this. So it visited 49 different URLs. And so you've got your sources right here. That's pretty cool. Now, one thing I have learned is you do want to kind of click on some of these. LLMs have been known to cite sources that actually don't exist. So you want to check if it's mission critical, you want to go in and check this out, right? And make sure that, but medium.com probably pretty valid. So, all right. So now this is cool. Here's the final report. You're like, wow. So this is your typical kind of markdown write up, and we got a lot of interesting ideas here. I want to dive into it, but I want to just kind of scroll all the way down to the bottom, because what it does, it says right here, this report has been saved to report.md. So I'm gonna pop open my deep research, because right here is the report. Now, what I like is I've got a markdown renderer, right? So it's going to make it look like it's a full-on beautiful PDF, right? This good. So this is MD Reader. It's free. It's awesome. So you got your date here. We're going to go through. I take a look at this now, guys. This is just a starting point, right? We're gonna take a look at what it comes back with, and maybe we're gonna iterate around it. But what a great place to get started, right? And those that have used deep research, like it's killer, right? So people are raving about this. And honestly, it's something I'm just starting to explore with. But we're looking at marketing plans and strategies. We're looking at deeply understanding. Tell me more about Pydantic and its history, and where it came out of, and how the community is responding to Pydantic AI. And then maybe you want to feed that into an LLM when you're starting to work with Pydantic, if you're going to use one of your code editors, right? So I could see a lot of use cases for this as a developer and as a business owner. You want to get to understand a market, right? Tell me about whatever market you're in, and the community you're in, or the region that you're in. What's been going on? What are the trends? This kind of a tool is really critical for that sort of stuff. You're putting a quote together. You want to put some background information for a big presentation. This is kind of key, and it's going to get. You're a student, and you want to do the university thing, and I don't really know how they're doing that with tools like this. Oh my God! Like, we don't want to be a professor today. Life is changing, but it's cool,
All right, guys. Well, that's it, right? And you're like, Marcus, that's it? I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, it's running in your terminal. And you don't want it running in your terminal anymore. Just, Control C and it'll go away. And you want to run it, and you just whip up your terminal again, npm start, and ask it questions, right? But that's kind of what for developers, right? Let's say you're a business owner and you want to run this in a Docker and you want to put a chat wrapper around that. We could certainly do videos on that. Put it down in the comments. If you guys think that's valuable, I'm happy to do up a video around that. We could do that. If you want our team to kind of do that for you, just reach out. We're happy to put something like that together for you. I think this could be really valuable if you made something like this available to your team. We could do it on an open source model, and now it's completely self-contained, or we could put it on Azure, and you can have access to OpenAI's models, and it's still contained within your network, so all your security people are going to be happy. Or maybe you're fine with just going straight to OpenAI. We you can do that as well, right? So there isn't a whole lot more to it. It's just a tool to be used, and so happy using. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.